I'm so fucking tired. It's like 2:04 or something, but I never can sleep anymore. I don't know why. I like doing shit at night better than in the daytime. I feel like I get work done better and there's less distractions. My phone's not going off constantly and shit. Um, I don't know. Today, it was my last day of these courses until after Christmas. So it's like my first break in like 2 years. Like I'm not like just constantly doing homework. And this last programming class was was not easy. Um, Hell, I had an F in it last week, and I managed to pull it up. So a pretty decent grade, just pushing through. The hospital helped. I mean, it's hard to do homework in the hospital for numerous reasons. So I mean, it wasn't as easy as someone would think it was, but it's just frustrating. Like when you go from not wanting people to know to like that being the main way you succeed. Like, because I mean, I have a 3.8 GPA, and if I fail this class, they're gonna obviously know something's up. And so I mean, I've called and been like, look, and every time I email him, he's just like, you're emailing me in the wrong conduit or something. Like, it doesn't even address the problem. I'm like, all right, well, okay, I emailed you wrong, but you still have the answers now. So can you just tell me what to do? But he harps on that shit, so he's kind of a dick, and so I mean, it kind of discourages me from contacting him, and I sent him to my doctor this Houston. I've been in the hospital since like the 12th through the 5th, 1st through the 14th or something. And he was like, "So you'll be home Saturday to turn in your final." Which I mean, I had been working on it, but like I was like, "Damn, dude, that's pretty fucking savage." Like just I mean, the workload's crazy. I was talking to someone tonight about it, and I was like, I've tried. I'm back on Adderall. Like, I mean, I was just probably one of the first kids in Mississippi that was on Adderall. I mean, it took like 3 weeks of just weird training. I feel like I was in MK Ultra or some shit. It was like, you just walk in and go, I can't focus, and they're like, here's some I think it's like dextroamphetamine and methamphetamine, so it's like 4 letters away. So I mean, and I've done both, and they're not super different. But the whole world runs off fucking Adderall. I don't think I've ever, and like, and I've heard the phrase like everyone loves Coke, and cheese is expensive. That's what I've always heard about being an adult. And I moved away from all these places to get off the heroin and shit. But I mean, I could do a little blow here and there and not crave. I wasn't a big upper guy, so I mean, like I liked being up, but like but once it was finished, it was finished. Yeah, I wasn't sick anymore. I was over it. By the time, kind of like with acid or something. By the time the trip's done, like I'm finished too. Like I'm ready for it to be over. And heroin and pills and other stuff. It's not that when I take the pills or do the drugs, I'm like, oh shit, when am I gonna get my next fix? Like, I'm already thinking about doing it again before I even enjoy doing it. So I guess that was the difference in that. And I just on a different note, I feel real bad for the kids that are in school right now because with the opiate epidemic, I lost at least 3 friends during the epidemic from overdoses, and one just the other day. I mean, he's not a great friend, but a really good acquaintance of mine. And, I mean, and then a couple weeks before that, one of our main friends, me and my old roommate, we kept trying to contact him. Somebody finally hit us up and was like, he's dead. I mean, this guy could do drugs and drink people under the table, and so whatever killed him, it's out there now. It's in cocaine. It's in, obviously in heroin and stuff like that. But I mean, pretty soon you're gonna have to check your kid's candy again instead of razor blades. It's gonna be carfentanil and all that shit. And the wild thing about it before I end this is, back in my day, when I was doing opiates and stuff, it was before heroin. Fentanyl, the actual brand name pharmaceutical fentanyl, was like a treat. You would like get on your birthday. It was like 75. That was $2 a microgram, and it was like it's like $75 for a patch. And they had like the gel patches, which is what you wanted, or they had the transdermal patches, which were like kind of like nicotine patches, but it still fucked you up for like days. So we had a plug for the gel patches, and none of us ever had the money to get them. But so whenever someone's birthday would come around, we'd all try, throw in, and so we'd like cut it in like thirds and like eat the gel out of it and put it on the back of our necks and just be fucking zooted for days. But like it didn't kill us because it wasn't like if a dog would have smelled it, it wouldn't kill them. It's just it was regulated. People understand that this car fentanyl shit is made in some Mexican super lab. It's like there's no stopping it. I mean, they got the border patrol bribe. I mean, you know how much money this shit's making? They have enough money to pay off everybody. Everybody that's in the chain of command, from the time that the car with fentanyl and it leaves wherever it's going from to wherever it gets, they can afford to pay them all off, like drastically. And I mean, this is how, and this is my little conspiracy on it, this is one of the only ways to wage war against America, is to divide the people, to make them not trust the government or the media, and just slowly let us eat ourselves within. Because, I mean, I can't remember I think it was like a Japanese empire or something. Correct me if I'm wrong. I won't even say who it was, but somebody one time was like, invading America would be impossible because there's a gun behind every door. Surprisingly, we're one of the only few places left that really is like that. And, you have so many people against guns, and then COVID hits and there's lines outside every door to get you a gun because you might not know why you need it, but you'll be glad you had it when it's time. And authentic fear is not something that people feel very often. Like being scared. Oh, I'm scared. Like that's not authentic fear. Authentic fear is like laying in your bed and your door flying open and hearing a gun cock. And someone's here to take your shit, or take you, or just depending on the situation. Like that's real fear. I know a guy this happened to. I mean, he was an ex-military of some sort, and and they don't take great care of him. Money. I mean, what jobs do you have set up for you, like to field strip, blindfolded and upside down, like a fucking M15 and shit like that. So I mean, it's hard for them. Most of them end up with security jobs doing the same shit they were doing, but sketchier and getting paid less with a lot less benefits. I mean, it's hard out there for somebody who didn't go into a specialty like, helicopter mechanic or something. You can learn a trade. So when you get out, you can still, utilize it. But when you're just like, oh, I just kicked in fucking doors and shot people and, found terrorists and did a badass job. And they didn't know who they were fucking with, and they broke in his house, and he was laying in his bed. And I guess he had a gun in both of his bedside tables, like a smart man would do. I mean, if you don't have kids walking around and shit, and your kids should know how to handle a gun as well. Not handle it, but not to touch it. That's pretty much the way that goes. And he grabbed one of the guns and he rolled off the bed and he shot them all in the ankles. He ended up killing one of them. And we were in rehab together, and he went to court for it while I was there, and he got acquitted of all charges because, I mean, they broke in his fucking house, and he shot him because, I mean, it's legal. You can do that in the state of Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas. I mean, Texas is a little weird from what I understand, but, like, I know in Mississippi, if someone breaks in your house, not only can you shoot them, but you should. you know what I mean? So, I find it interesting. Like, people are like, oh, they're going to take our guns. Like, no, the fuck they're not. They're going to take our magazines. They're going to take, like, make it where we have to reload every 4 bullets and they have 100-round drums. They know that if they come and get our guns, they're going to be hot and empty. A lot of them. I'm not saying I'm for or against guns, but I own one. You know, I mean, most people I know own them, and the ones that I don't, it makes sense why they don't. So I mean, it's there's been a lot of weird things this week on the news. I've started watching the news again because it is about COVID, but it's a new variant and stuff, and I just like to stay up to date with it. And there's like a bunch of people stepping down and like saying like pretty much that we should all be scared. Like like the monster has reached the top level. Something's going down. I can't remember his name. I'm sure y'all read about it. The talk show host who like randomly just quit and was like, I can't be a part of this anymore. I mean, and what she's just telling them, like, I can't be a part of this fucking narrative that I've spent 30 years building a career off of real journalism, and stuff. And all of a sudden, you hand me this paper and tell me like, this is what I'm going to say and this is how I have to say it, and whatever. And I mean, that's not only not freedom of speech. You know, that's neglecting the pursuit of happiness. Like I have the right to learn about whatever I want to learn about, and I still do. And America is still the greatest country in the world, even though it's fucked up. But I mean, we're gonna end up being owned by China soon if we're not already. I mean, they wouldn't tell us, but you know, stay vigilant, stay ready. So you ain't gotta get ready. That what I just watched on the news freaked me out. But you know, if you're waiting on America, you're backing up.